What's the actual page that you?
Tone Does Music.
That's was it TikTok or an Instagram page?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram first.
How long you been at it?
Man, coming up on the 2-year mark, but
2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it happened pretty late. Yeah, I've been a recording engineer and a recording artist for years, so I had like a little platform before that.
So prior to you doing reels, you was already fucking with media.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been doing this since '99.
Give me some history on you.
Man, moved to Vegas in '97 from Alabama.
Okay.
By the way, I'm from LA though. Born and raised in LA. But I started doing music in Vegas, man, and I had a sound that people liked. I was recording my own shit. And I was like, let me sound like that. Let me sound like that.
You an MC?
I was.
You're an MC?
I'm a singer now, but
Okay.
I'm a recording engineer. That
Okay.
was the thing that had everybody.
Got it.
But and then doing that for years. But those lended themselves as resources later on with this Instagram.
Right.
You know.
So you had got familiar and comfortable with editing software?
Oh yeah, that was easy.
And shit like that.
Instagram makes it so user friendly though, as far as you can't even attribute it to prowess.
Right.
It's just you know.
How long was you at it on IG before the Yukmouth situation? Because that's the one that I saw.
Okay.
That's the one that I saw. But was that your NBA finals right there?
Nah, man.
Right.
I mean, man,
tell me, give me some history on.
I got like 100 million views, dog. So it's like this is, that's recent. This thing happened pretty quick. It happened within like 7 months of trying.
Okay.
It wasn't no long. I've been an influencer and I'm just trying to do this. I was bored in the studio. I'm like, let me do something different.
So you had some racehorses you had some videos that was going before the Yukmouth joint?
Yeah, I have. The first cameo was with Spice One, so you got to think. I knew the optics on that would be crazy because you think about a gangsta ass nigga from East Bay, it's like you got him here clowning in a reel, and I knew, we had knew each other in the music aspect before, so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking these music, relationships and move them over here.
Right.
And me and Tash got one. That one's pretty funny.
Right.
Mr. Dalvin from Jodeci.
Yeah.
But the one with Yuck was different because it was like it brought a whole new section to the page. You feel me? It gave it a new kind of a feel because we weren't doing anything that was cannabis related or anything that was but we get a lot of love in the Bay, so it was definitely a good look for sure.
All right, even though it's cannabis related, did you encounter any issues trying to monetize it?
Of course, right away.
From the door?
It was the first time, that we gave that look on Instagram, and right away they're like, this, we can't monetize. Don't do it if you want to make money on that shit. But what you want is the, once you get the attention, it's like, what do you do with it? And I love music, so me being an older cat dating a younger woman, it's funny to see the dualities of it, where even though for years in the studio you hear the old cats say, "Oh, ain't nothing like music in the '90s," and the young cats don't want to hear that shit. But now you using our same music to make your hits.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like,
right?
So to see that, and some of the younger people don't know that, and so this page and this and my experience and know-how, but being tapped in because I got a younger girlfriend, it's like kind of I'm able to put the medicine in the dog food and show what it was and what it still is.
Right. How regularly do you hear our music being repackaged?
Bro, I have so much content to make. It's endless because it's everywhere you look. It's everywhere you look. It's impossible to even turn the radio on and not, and if it's not the younger cats coming up, it's Drake using it. You hear Jodeci and Drake songs. You hear it's all there. But at the same time, it's finally given our era a platform to be just as loud and vocal as the youngsters have been because they haven't done anything with it. It's one thing, we got this. Okay, you do got it. What you gonna do with it?
Right.
And then the cookie cutter shit gets stale eventually,
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned Drake because I believe I hear him like he might say a concept or a rap from the early 90s now, and I hear the shit, and I'm like, damn, that's such and such shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I wonder, did anybody hear that? Like, was the only one that heard that shit? Like,
and you know he's paying homage, but you'd have to read the linear notes to know who he's paying homage to in a lot of cases. So it's not like you got to say the name of who verse you're saying to really make that really, or are you just biting it? You know what I'm saying? But
is that unfair to do that and like essentially get away with it, monetize it? And
this is what I feel.
Directly.
Fair or not, whatever it is, I see it as whatever's going on. You can either be the old man on the front yard waving your cane, don't do that, or you can figure out how to monetize it where it's at in its current state.
Right.
I mean, it's where your moral compass is. What is important to you to live your life trying to fight against, or do you want to get some bag from it because you see what it is and ain't nobody else finna do it? Okay, shit, come on. Yeah. I mean, I'm not finna be that guy that's like, it's just not fair. I see it's not fair, but okay, what can we do with this? You know, that kind of thing. So I see what it is. Even with autotune, I mean, when I do a lot of features, and when I do, autotune sound good on your shit if you use it right, but it's been done to absurdity now. It's obnoxious now, but it was just a tool in the studio like before, you know. But all this shit is like that, you know. It's a tool. Instagram is a tool. Right. It's the new way entertainment is consumed. So it's like, you know,
not to give up the game, but how many ways can a person monetize a reel, and how long is a reel? What's the
a minute and a half max.
A minute and a half.
So
max.
How good can your creativity be and your originality be, and pull that off? But you got to do that in the first 15 seconds. You know, some of my reels are 15 seconds, and you know those will hit if you do it right. But you got to.
You got 15 seconds, Wayne?
I did one last night, just a couple minutes ago. It's been 22 hours. It just hit 100K, 15 seconds. And what that is, and you know, I got a new podcast coming out, Watch Your Tone podcast with my girl and I, and I'm tagging that podcast on that, so it's a way that your other vehicles of monetization, you tie them to each other with this Instagram shit, because it's like it's brand awareness. You might not convert right away, but you bring awareness on a platform where they are looking, you know. Right. And so 15 seconds, that's the new attention span. Right. I say this on another podcast where it's the new sitcom. You know, the new sitcom is 30 seconds to 60 seconds, where it used to be 30 minutes, because our attention span.
You can get the same point across and entertain somebody in 30. Yeah, you know, I've seen it on Snapchat all the time.
It happens, but at the same time, sometimes it's required. Like Diddy did it with the hits from the 80s. He made a whole bunch of money on shit that was already hits. You know, so what you're essentially doing is like what I'm doing with the reels, where we're focusing on music, the old school and new school. I'm using their music to do it. So obviously the reel is going to hit, but you sacrifice making your money to be seen for the endeavors of monetization. Right. You know, getting your endorsements, those are the ways to monetize the reel. There's only a few. I mean, you can do TikTok, Facebook, but you can pay your rent and your car note with that. It's not, they're not paying you. They're doing it just like they're doing on Spotify. Right. It's crazy.
I noticed on YouTube now that if you use somebody's music, whereas it used to turn red and it'd say like copyright infraction. Now, in some cases, it'll turn green. Okay. And it says sharing, revenue sharing. Right, have you seen that?
I have seen that, but I obviously not on mine. But YouTube is crazy. YouTube's been the last algorithm that now I'm focusing on as far as to crack, because you know it's you can't choose where you go viral at. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. How is your transition going from?
It's just starting. Our first episode is going to air on December 15th with Yuck as a guest, and this will be the first time where
put me in.
I think Tash in it too, but you won't be a surprise. But you know,
if you continue to be funny, and entertaining on YouTube, it's going to work. But again, in order to monetize on YouTube, you need 8 minutes to put ads in. You need an 8-minute minimum.
So that works, because the podcast is about 35, 40 minutes. So that should work. But your shorts now is where it's at on YouTube too. You know,
fucking with the shorts heavy. Is that's a short is essentially real.
You got a minute. You got a minute on shorts. So a lot of my reels won't translate to the shorts unless I read, and some of the the comedy aspects and factors of the reels are unique. Sometimes I write it for that minute and a half, or I write it for a 45-second reel. It's just however I want to put it together. But there's lots of ways to monetize. I'm still cracking a lot of eggs figuring that out, but I learned how pretty quick with how long because it came quick. You're not prepared for it when it comes that fast if you're new to the realm. I mean, there's a lot of influencers I've talked to that have been doing it 10 years and still have yet to, crack it. Once it cracked, Shaq posted me, Ice Cube posted me, and when that happened, we took on 100 new followers every 15 minutes for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
100K.
I've been in that position before. That should be crazy. You open up your phone, you be like, God.
It's maxed out. Yeah. No, it's maxed out. It's crazy.
So what video did Shaq and Ice Cube notice?
The Dennis Edwards. Well, Ice Cube recognized his. He posted me on his Twitter and
don't go any further.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest video. That's 12.1 million views.
I didn't know you did that, dude. Yeah.
Don't look any further, man. Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, okay, I seen that shit.
Yeah, that's me too. Yeah, so it's been crazy. It was a side door to all the people I aspired to be next to or be with in the music realm. Chasing it for 25 years, I got it in 7 months, and even at the Ice Cube concert, just people came to me, hey, ain't you man, come meet Cube, and brought me back with Cube, and he did a reel with us, and that kind of stuff. So it's like it's this full circle moment to where on paper at 44 years old, this don't happen. I feel like Morgan Freeman, like whereas I'm discovering my calling in my 40s, and I'm up for the call and up for the challenge. It's because of what I've been doing before. I prepared for this, doing skits, doing performances.
Right.
It's easy.
You be choosing the right songs, that's for sure.
Man, and there's so many left too, though. There's so many left.
Yeah, you've been choosing the right joints.
Yeah. And you know what? We make them up as we go. I mean, I might be listening to the radio as we're going. We're not sitting on content. We literally just make this.
That's how I go. Yeah.
I don't want to be. And I think that's why they love it.
So you would hear a jam like, this the album, I'm gonna fuck with this.
This the one, and then or she'll play some of her young shit. I'll be like, this is new edition. What you know what I'm saying? Like it's
they be stealing so much. Yeah,
right. But the transition is though, once you get that look from everybody, where do you go from there? You can't just do that forever, or you just gonna be stuck in that bag and that'll go away. It's like you transition to the other media forms and stuff, which is what I'm on now with the podcast stuff. And I'm still an artist, I'm still doing features, I'm still singing, I'm still performing. So, 2024 should be good, man. It's all coming together. And Tash been helping a whole lot. Tash been helping a lot. For the resources I don't have and the people I can't get to, he helps make a way with that. So, man, it's all coming together pretty good, bro.
No doubt. I appreciate you coming through, man. Out of the 3 MCs that you featured, which one would you say cracked the most ground? The one, of course, the cannabis joint, right?
When you say crack ground, I mean what it lended to what it was.
That month.
I mean, it was. It's not so much that the Yukmouth could have done and should have done so much better, but because it was shadow banned essentially. With the because they don't want to see that on there.
So IG shadow banned.
It's still I think still did like 250K. That's light. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I said for sure this gonna do a meal, but I never even considered the weed thing on Instagram because we never done it, so it never been an issue before. So once I saw that and seen the after effects of it, but it led into a relationship with Yuk that I have. He ended up being a guest, on my first podcast. So for me, I seen it as a good sacrifice that a means to another situation. And Instagram still lets me live. Like I'm still dropping shit, and they know I bring organic traffic. So, it works together. And I've realized what it is, and I'm not gonna just sit there and whine about what I'm not getting. I'm like, how can I make it happen with what I do get? Because it's all kind of ways.
No doubt. Before you get up out of here, tell my viewers where they can find the page at.
Tone Does Music on Instagram, 2Tone, TOO Tone on Facebook, and Tone Does TikTok on TikTok. And you can follow the podcast at Watch Your Tone Podcast on YouTube.
No doubt. Appreciate you, Tone.
Right on, brother.
Yeah, this Tragedy Gaddafi repping that true ever, forever, respectfully. Tune in, stay tuned. We with that Gully TV. Everything Gully, everything ooh-ah. 25, Queens finest.